Hey, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, we got something pretty special in the shop today. How in the world did we end up with this? Man, it's a pretty exciting day around here. I haven't been too active on the channel recently, but I thought I would start a new series with this guy because it's going to be a long road and I think it's a pretty special machine to talk about. So yeah, this is a Medieval Madness that I had no intention this morning of actually buying, but I did go down south of Frankfurt, Germany, and I went to pick up an Addams Family because I actually sold my Addams Family in the States a couple of, probably about 6 weeks ago. And I'm back here in Germany, and I went to buy one here because I wanted it in the collection here with the rest of the machines. And when I went down to look at the Addams Family, it was just a little bit too rough for me. But they did have this guy sitting in the back corner of the shop. And after about 2 hours of discussion and negotiation and back and forth, we finally settled on a price. And I walked away with this guy, and not a machine I'd ever thought that I would own, because when they do come up, they're pretty big money. And I'm not willing to part with, 3 or 4 machines out of my collection, to afford this guy. So yeah, how do we like to buy them? Well, we like to buy them broke and dirty. Broke and dirty. So let's get a light over here and let's look at it. Well, it's definitely dirty. I wouldn't say it's broke. It actually does work. I'm not going to turn it on now because when I was transporting it home, there were some screws in the bottom of the cabinet, and I didn't realize they were there. And when we tipped the machine up, they were kind of rattling around. So I don't want to turn the machine on right now. But I do want to record the condition of it because it's pretty nasty. This game was obviously operated for a while. And, mostly what you see here is dirt. However, in the back here, there's a really problematic area of wear on this insert. You can see that. And if the camera will focus, let's see, there you go. Yeah, you can see that's going to be an issue. And so there's that, and man, I don't see any other wear here, but look at all this dirt. I mean, good Lord. It looks like this thing hadn't been cleaned in 30 years, and probably hasn't. I mean, look at all the metal down there on the drawbridge. And the drawbridge sticker's totally destroyed there. That can be replaced. All these plastic parts can come out and we can clean them and they'll look a lot better. But yeah, that's the situation down here. Here's the lock here. Well, not the lock, but the scoop. So yeah, quite a bit of wear there. But here's the biggest problem with the Playfield. And man, this is so frustrating. So you see this? There's Mylar here. And this Mylar is picking up and lifting because some knucklehead installed some screws on the bottom of the Playfield here to hold the flipper mech. The screws for the flipper mech are right here. And the screws that they use were too long. Oh my gosh, on a Medieval Madness. So, when I was sitting there looking at this thing in the guy's place, I saw this and, oh, golly. I said, I was able to negotiate them down quite a bit because I think I'm going to do a Playfield swap on this machine. I can remove this Mylar, but I have not removed Mylar on a game of this era before. And I think these are diamond plate. I think all the games of this era were diamond plate. But this is right in the front. It's actually cracked the wood, and it's lifted the Mylar here. It's probably jacked up the insert. Oh, man. So the Playfield reproduction company here in Germany, Mirko, he actually makes this replacement Playfield. And don't be surprised if one of the next videos in this series is me talking about I've either ordered a new Playfield or I'm going to start saving the money to order a new Playfield. Yeah, they're not cheap, but I think I am going to do it. The more I look at this thing, man, it just makes me so angry because the insert is bad enough, but the insert is all the way back there that it wouldn't be noticeable. I would be able to repaint that, and most people would not be able to tell. And I don't think that it's worth just doing a Playfield swap for that insert alone. But this is right in the front. And I can make this presentable, but it is definitely slightly lifted here. And yeah, man, I don't know. And I'm worried if I try to pull that Mylar off that it's going to pull the insert decals off too. And if that happens, then forget it. It's a Playfield swap. So anyway, yeah, that's the situation. Now let's raise the Playfield up and look at the disaster underneath, shall we? Yeah. All right, man. Oh gosh. I almost feel like saying, oh, the humanity. All right, well, I won't be too over dramatic. So there's just a bunch of junk here, a bunch of screws. Obviously, somebody's been monkeying around down here. I do see some stuff laying back here. What do we got? We got like a container of screws. Okay, well, there's like a flasher laying back there. Can't quite see it. I don't know if you guys can. There's a flasher, and there was a lot more stuff on the bottom of this machine than I thought. Huh, but okay, bottom of the Playfield doesn't look too awful bad. Actually, it's quite clean. Considering the mayhem on the top, it looks like nobody ever raised the Playfield, which is probably the reason it's so clean. But yeah, the bottom of the Playfield, if you only saw this, you would think, hey, the top side probably looks pretty good, but no. Okay, one thing I noticed when I was there was this troll was not reacting when the ball would hit it, so it's probably a switch or something. I had to figure out how those work. I'm not sure if they're optos or what they are. Learn about those. Here's the flipper mech that had the screws that are too long right here. These two guys, they've had the completely wrong screws in there and really screwed the Playfield up. But yeah, I mean, them flippers had not been rebuilt in probably a long time, you know. So yeah, everything else is here. I mean, just extremely dirty, and you know, we just got to go figure out what we're going to do here. The game's not been LED'd, but, you know, of course, be doing that. And, you know, so the bottom of the Playfield, not much to say about that, I guess. There are some switches that I saw that were busted. A couple stand-up switches here that will have to be replaced, but that's pretty minor stuff. Hey, this is pretty cool. Look at that. Look at that pop bumper assembly. Yeah, that's pretty nice, right? That's what you get when you run a pop bumper for like, you know, up teen years, you know, and they never do any maintenance to it. So, okay, and then the cabinet is, yeah, it's okay. So, you got a little wear here, which, you know, he gave me another set of artwork for this thing. But honestly, if this is the only wear, I think I'm going to touch this up. I don't think I'm stripping off the original art just to fix an area like that. This can all be touched up, and you will not notice it. New flipper buttons will make it look a lot better. Look at this crap. Rails, my gosh. And I think that he did this. The guy who I bought this from, it was like a shop that does like dartboards, electric dartboards, and super nice people. Super, super, super nice people. Don't get me wrong. But he didn't really do a whole lot of pinball. And this thing, I don't know. I don't want to blame him, but it just seems a little suspicious that these rails are freaking dented like this, because this rail still had the plastic on it back here. So it looked like somebody replaced this rail at some point, and then you got this going on. So, okay. I mean, they're rails. They're not impossible to change. I've done this before on Funhouse. And actually, I can get them over here in Europe, and they're not super pricey, really. And I can get local shipping. So that's probably like maybe $50 for both rails, you know, something like that. It's not a tremendous amount of money. Yeah, so that's pretty much the cabinet, you know. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. There's like a piece of tape on here or something. I don't know what that is. Yeah, some nicks and scuffs here, but we'll be able to touch this stuff up and you won't really notice, you know. I have to go over, clean it. Actually, for as bad as the Playfield looks, this thing probably sat in one location, because the cabinet doesn't look too bad. I mean, when was this game made? Was it like 96 or 97? I think 97. Yeah, somebody tried to touch that up, I think. But anyway, you know, the cabinet's, it's meh. It's meh. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's kind of in the middle. Lockdown bar mechanism is busted too. Good Lord. I don't know what happened here. It looks like a piece of metal is broken over here. This whole thing is, I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just not put together right. I don't know. You got to take it off and try to rebuild it. And I know that needs to go in there like that. But it looks like there's another piece that's broken over here, like another guide, because you got a guide here like that. And then there should be another one here, but I guess I can find a new one of these. I've never had to change. I've had them off before, but I've never had to change one. So hopefully I can find that. Yeah, anyway, that's pretty much, oh, look at this. Inspected by Pin Rescue 2010. Inspected by Flipper King 2010. Wow. Well, that was 14 years ago, Flipper King, and I don't know what happened between then and now, but she's not looking too good. Okay, over here, side art. Oh, man. More of this business happening. And like I said, I could touch this up. It's mostly blue and, you know, nothing else, right? This will be a little bit trickier. Actually, you know what? I say that, but this is a decal. I'm looking at it now over my glasses. It's actually a decal. So I might be able to get this off, hopefully without damaging the artwork underneath, but that's actually not damage. This is damage. What in the world did they do here? They drilled some holes? They drilled some holes, huh, in the cabinet. And, okay, it's dirty there. And just some little marks here and there, not super crazy. I don't know what happened here. There's holes here. Sorry, my camera work's not great tonight. Yeah, something funny there. Did they mount something to it? I don't know what they did. Oh well. I mean, that can be touched up. There's no way I'm gonna strip and sand this artwork off and replace it just for little things like that. It's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. That is the artwork is the least of my concerns, really. You know, I'm pretty used to these games from the mid-90s having artwork that's kind of all screwed up. And this is, I mean, yeah, these parts here are pretty bad, but the front, there's a bunch of different decals on here. Let's see if we can get our light situated. Let's see if we can figure out where this thing lived its life. So we got Katsiwanakis. That's here in Germany. It's +49. Kettenbach. Okay. So Automaten Betriebs is a machine rental. Automaten is a German word that they use for pinball machines and also for arcade games and slot machines and darts. So Automaten is not just pins, it's everything. And Betriebs is rental or sales. Betriebs. I think it's rental. And then here's another decal that's for that same place. And unfortunately, it looked like his coin door doesn't stay shut because it's missing a hasp here. Fell off. Unfortunately, they scribbled a number on the machine here. And it's actually the same number that's up here on the sticker, 104 or 1D4549. They wrote it here, 1D4549. If I try to remove that, I bet you it's going to destroy the graphic. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but it's underneath the coin door, so you don't see it that bad. And two other little decals here. Hopefully with a heat gun we can get these off and we can clean this graphic without screwing it up. A couple little touch-ups we got to do there. Yeah, that's the deal. And the wiring has been, you know, all kinds of fooled with here. What in the world were they doing? They got these screws out. This freaking, you know, here's the manual. You got the manual. Don't forget the manual. What did I do here? I need to have my head examined. I do. Okay, anyway, I wanted to share in my misery. So it's actually not misery. It's actually, this is actually pretty exciting because I like filming the condition of the machines like this because I always tell myself, this is the worst the game will ever look. Everything we do will make it better. That's how I like to think about this. So, Yeah, you know, the ramps, let's see, the ramps look not too good, but with a little Scotch-Brite, you'll be surprised. Gosh, I hope I don't have to like re-chrome these ramps or anything, these wire habit trails. I hope not. I hope Scotch-Brite just makes them shine again. Maybe I can get a product or something. Maybe one of you guys can recommend something I can use. The Dragon, hey, it looks okay. You know, I don't see anything busted or broken, I don't think. Maybe I can replace this anyway. Not sure. Yeah, all the stuff back here, it looks okay. It's just filthy, you know, how it is. So, all right, well, that is the situation. Here's what's going on in the backyard. We got a coil hanging out back here. That's pretty cool. Wonder where that guy came from. It looks brand new. Doesn't even look like it's been used. I bet you it was sitting up there by the coin door and then it fell back here. All right, and then here's this flasher. Oh, you know, does that go here? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to figure out where that goes. So, yeah, you know, that's the situation. And thanks for watching, and keep tabs on the channel. We will start going through it. We'll start tearing it all down. And I can show you the boards, but there's not really a whole lot to see there. You know, it's just boards. And it's got the same setup as No Good Gophers in there. It's got this like plastic, how do you explain it? It's like this like plastic container thing on the backside. It's a real pain in the butt to open, especially with one hand. So I'm not going to pull it out now. But standard DMD, unfortunately. So we'll be saving the money and installing a color DMD in this. I'm going to do a straight up color DMD. I think the game deserves it. And that's the plan. So it's going to be a couple month ordeal. But thanks for watching and checking back in with me. And I'll try to keep you guys up to speed on what's happening with the Medieval Madness. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.